All right, this one is for anyone who's just lost faith in hollow authority. For anyone tired of hearing all that noise from leaders who just refuse to look at themselves first. We're about to dive into a really powerful law designed to cut right through all of that. The core idea hits you right away, doesn't it? Cut yourself first. Only blood-polished truth reflects. Just let that sit for a second. It's a stark, visceral idea, and believe me, it is absolutely meant to grab your attention. And this powerful principle, this is Law 3, the mandate of the mirror shard. You can think of it as the law of radical self-audit, a world where authority has to be earned, not just claimed. So, yeah, it sounds intense, it sounds poetic, maybe even a little dangerous. But what does it actually mean to hold this thing? What does it really ask of us? Okay, so to really get this, we've got to start with that central metaphor. What exactly is this shard that we're supposed to be holding? So let's be clear, the mirror shard is not your clean, polite bathroom mirror. No way. Think of it more like a fragment of reality itself. It's jagged, it's partial, it's unframed. The whole point is that it reminds us that real honesty, it costs skin. It's a piece of truth that forces a difficult, costly, but totally honest reflection. All right, now let's see how this powerful metaphor actually builds into a personal code of ethics, a kind of moral compass for navigating the world with actual integrity. And this slide right here, this really lays it all out. It's just such a stark contrast. On one side, you've got judgment without any self-reflection. The law calls that what it is, pure hypocrisy. It's just power without any accountability. But on the other side, when your judgment comes after you've done the internal work, it transforms into integrity. It becomes authority that's actually earned. And that brings us to the first core saying of the law: bleed before you preach. It's a non-negotiable prerequisite, you know? You have to engage in that personal accountability before you ever try to guide or correct anyone else. And this whole process is intensely personal. The next idea really drives this home. Sharpen truth on your own skin. This isn't a weapon you sharpen to use on other people. The first and most important test is always on yourself. And all of this leads to a really clear consequence if you ignore those first two principles. No mirror, no mandate. It's simple, really. Without that deep, honest, and yes, sometimes painful self-reflection, you have no legitimate authority to speak, to judge, or to lead. Period. So this is the crucial part, right? How do we take this really powerful philosophy and turn it into something real, something tangible? How do we actually practice this law in our day-to-day lives? Well, the law gives us a surprisingly concrete framework. On a daily basis, the practice is to name one uncomfortable truth about yourself, and this is the key part, write down the corrective action. Then weekly, you find someone you trust and ask them to point out one of your blind spots. Your only job? To listen and act. And then for the long term, you keep what's called a mirror ledger, a personal record of wrongs you've owned and the repairs you've actually followed through on. And look, this personal practice isn't supposed to stay private. It's meant to radiate outward. In leadership, it means you admit your errors publicly instead of spinning some story. In activism, it's about auditing your own motives before you grab the megaphone. At work, it's about owning your misses with receipts and proposing fixes, not excuses. And in love, it's about giving a real apology, one without the word but, followed by a genuine change in your behavior. Now, this is really important. This law is not a call for self-destruction. It has a critical, built-in safeguard, a rebellion clause, if you will, to keep it from becoming a weapon you turn on yourself. And the source material could not be more clear on this point. The shard is a metaphor, not a call for self-harm. This is an absolutely crucial warning, so there's no misinterpretation of what this law is really about. So when do you pull back? The rules are pretty clear. If that cut starts to spiral into shame or some kind of obsessive fixation, you sheath the shard. You have to remember that truth without mercy is just cruelty. The whole point isn't to bleed forever. It's to clean the lens so you can see clearly. It's about balancing this intense practice with rest and connection. So, after all that, why? Why go through all of this difficult work? What is the ultimate goal here? Let's take a look at the real purpose behind this mandate. The purpose really breaks down into three big ideas. First, it's universal, because let's face it, all humans are prone to self-deception. It's eternal, because real renewal, whether it's personal or societal, always begins with confession, not with conquest. And finally, it has a punk ethos. Authenticity isn't a pose, it's something you earn by proving it on yourself first. And all of this culminates in this one final, powerful mandate. Judge yourself loud so you can judge the world clean. That internal work is exactly what gives you the clarity and the integrity to address the external world without being a hypocrite. So we'll leave you with this. This isn't just a philosophy to admire from a distance. It's a practice to be lived. And it starts small. So the real question is, what is one uncomfortable truth that you can own today?